Heretic was okay. I don't like coming in swinging with a bad attitude about it because I know people who worked on it. But now that it's been a couple of hours since I've seen it, I've had time to think about it. And I think it's super interesting, and the marketing was super interesting, and it's a very fun experience to see a comparatively mainstream movie about Mormons, and about missionaries especially. I think there's a lot of interesting material in missionary life, because being a missionary is kind of crazy. And this movie was accurate to parts of the experience in ways that I thought was interesting, and at times even powerful. But I wouldn't say it was great. I found this kind of interesting as a former Mormon. I think all reasonable ex-Mormons would say, even if we don't like Mormonism anymore, we see missionaries as the least deserving of any ire. Missionaries are some of the most vulnerable people in the church. They're basically alone, they're often isolated from family, and it's basically their job now to be Mormon. So getting angry at them for being Mormon isn't necessarily a productive exercise, and it's probably just, bagging on someone who probably doesn't have a lot of money. So why would you do that? But this film felt like it was trying to have them be Mormon, but actually not do anything too Mormon. It seemed from the marketing like it was going to be a story about kind of screw tape letter scenario, having dialogue with the demon and seeing how he feels and seeing whether the power of Christianity, or whatever you might feel about it, can triumph against someone who, when it comes down to it, is fundamentally bad. But it ends up kind of taking a weird left turn, and I guess it comes to a conclusion, but it doesn't feel like an especially profound one. And it definitely doesn't fulfill on the promise that the premise gives. That's not to say it's all bad. I think it looked really good. I think, considering it is a film that takes place in the same location for 90% of its runtime, and it was always interesting to watch. I've seen, I think, a lot of films like this that are much worse, and much meaner, and much less interestingly shot. And I think they succeeded at telling a pretty watchable story in this one location, so that's an achievement. I think it was scary without over-relying on jump scares. I think it had some good suspense beats. I think it had some great little moments where I was going, whoa, well, didn't expect that. So I endorse it in those ways, but I wouldn't really recommend it overall as a movie experience. If you want to see Heretic so you can talk about it with your friends or with people on social media, that's fine. If you want to see it because you're Mormon or Mormon adjacent and want to just see what people are saying about Mormons in the zeitgeist these days, that's fine. But if you're just a regular person looking for a night out, trying to enjoy a movie and trying to see maybe something scary or something where an underdog triumphs, I don't know that I would really recommend it a ton. I think there are a lot of other really promising movies coming out right now, and you'd be best off maybe giving them a look first before you give Heretic a look. But oh well, it's a horror movie. The whole point of horror movies is to be made for really cheaply and then make their budgets back really fast. And that's exactly what this has already done. So, everyone wins.